Hi guys, welcome to TWOW 16B. Huh? A pre-made video advertisement I should show in this video? Well, okay, I guess I can make room. You too? No, no more. 12 videos are already getting way too long. Ah, that's enough!
And now, letters to the editor. Today I have a letter from Riley, and it goes like this. Hello there, I am Riley, a former TWOWer who has an announcement. Recently there have been a lot of accusations made against me on the TWOW chat. I would like to put these rumours to rest. I am not an alternate account for Michael. I am not a roof tile. I am not a fish. And I am definitely not Spicy Man 33's girlfriend. Instead of trying to pile rumours onto me, take a look deep inside of yourself and try to find who you are on the inside. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
Okay, fan art time. As always, they were spectacular this time around, and as they're going by, I thought I'd spend this time to address a very serious issue. Last time, on TWOW Central, I was mercilessly bullied by some very picky people for pronouncing this word as rural. Listen to me this time, rural. Better? Quick, now let's reveal the TWOW 16 results. So the prompt was to simulate an argument between Yellow and Orange Carry over who is smarter. Remember my shiny coward prevention plan from last time, which involved only counting the first 10 votes each voter cast? Well, it really worked at preventing shininess. 702 voters cast only 1,047 votes this time. By the way, that number of voters was higher than last time, which is pretty cool. Do you think we can get it above TWOW1's 808 anytime soon? Also, non-twin brothers and 9 other suspicious accounts all voted exactly the same, like this. So I only counted 1 of those 100 votes. If this shady behavior continues in the future, I might not count any of them at all. And yes, the voting results were collected using Michael's YouTube comment collecting program, which was super easy. So these are our 12 remaining Olympian gods, I mean TWOWers. The 2 that perform the best get a double response prize for next time, and the 2 that perform the worst will get eliminated, crashing and burning literally 1 inch from the glorious final 10. Since we reveal TWOWers scores in the order they placed last time, 2-time victor Mr. Twister is up first. Meester submitted 2 responses, one of which was the widely panned Donald Trump response, which I actually didn't think was so bad. But that was actually his lower scoring entry. His more socially acceptable entry was, at least I don't sound like a BFBI ripoff character. Well, right now we can't hear your real voice, so you actually sound like Teardrop. Anyway, you might have noticed that the red arrow is behaving differently. Based on the feedback from TWOW Central, I decided a slow descent to your true score of 53.37% is a bit more fun to watch than the completely meaningless random swooshing all over the place. So now you'll either be instantly overjoyed or will gradually fill to the brim with dread. Will Joseph Howard start to feel the droplets of dread spilling over the lip of his cup? I mean, at this point, he's a regular of the top 3, getting into it 3 times of the last 4 episodes. His worst response was, "I'm so smart, I know you'll respond in 10 words," which was actually similar to a response Jujamus submitted for a mini TWOW in which I was the host and we were the final 2. Jujamus beat me. And that was actually the inspiration for this prompt. Enough rambling, Joseph's better response was, "Boy, that was original. You come up with that yourself?" As we reveal the score, I just want to mention that the TWOW Central gossipers thought that response was a powerful comeback to the former, but they didn't realize that the responses came from the same person. 56.49%, quite good indeed. By the way, the music you're listening to right now is called Instrumental Song I Made for TWOW Smiley Face by 57 Blah, and it's amazing. Next, we'll look at Crafty7, who has missed a prize by 1 spot twice now. Is this redemption time? It all depends on this response. You intelligent? You thought TWOW 13 responses were perfectly spelled. That was actually the only response to mention anything TWOW related. And before I show you the score this entry received, I'd like to point out that the Consistency Master produced this gem, the second most controversial response of this episode. 50.34%. Probably not prizeworthy, but likely safe.
Next is someone that will beat me in Monopoly. Shogun!
He's the only TWOWer to get 3 victories so far. Shogun uttered this: "You're talking nonsense. Have you understood anything I've been saying?" Which is actually a good response to me when I'm talking with friends. So as the score is being revealed, I want to say, realize that it's technically possible to be eliminated with a score higher than 50%, because the double response prizes often hide really bad scores. Not saying it happened this time, just saying it could. 51.04%, middle of the road. Now, it's no mystery that Mr. Twister twisted into the top 10. Fifth up is Ping Pong Cup Shots, whose name actually exactly ties Sumner the Pie Guy for the most letters in the name of a Final 21 TWOWer. PPCS tried to be clever with this insult. Speak your mind more, that way you'd always be speechless. I feel like this entry would be killer as the very last entry of the argument, because then it looks like the opponent really did end up speechless. I'll find out if that's true later, but in reality, we care about the whole picture. And Shing Kong Pup Pot's whole picture, by the way that's a new nickname, was 52.72%. Next we've got frontrunner Tak Ajnin, who said, "Your debating skills are obviously inferior, proving you are unintelligent." Pretty formal sounding to me. Perhaps your opponent actually is unintelligent, but what about you, Tak? Voters had this to say, 50.10%, not even safe. But that does mark the 6th TWOWer in a row to place above the average, so good job to you 6. Here's pun resistance leader The Mighty Midge, who said, "Do you speak to your mother like that? How rude." Whoa, way to get personal, Sam Billinge imposter. You know that Yellow and Orange Carry don't have mothers. Now they're offended and hurting. Not really though. And in case you're wondering, they are each other's fathers. Kind of like yin yang, you know? It's all a cycle. Anyway, The Mighty Midge gets 50.16%, which marks the 3rd person to get super close to 50%. In other news, Crafty, most likely sum of 2 dice, is guaranteed into the final 10. Mike Ramsey got off of his motorcycle and onto the earth for a few seconds to say, "I have no earthly idea what you're trying to say," which is also a good thing to say to me during a typical conversation. By the way, Mike, the magic word was mama. But don't worry, I found secret footage of you as a baby and heard you say that magic word many years ago, so your minus 50% penalty has been removed. Relieving, isn't it? Anyway, you get a score of 47.74%, which isn't the best, but it is our first palindrome of the day. Up next is Picky Man. Oh wait, is that meme dead now? Okay, this is spicy. Man, 33 is such an interesting number, being the sum of the first 4 positive factorials and all. Anyway, this combustible TWOWer said, "Perhaps you should consider your own image before insulting me." Going on the defensive now, I see. Did voters like this more compromising entry or not? Wow, 58.37%. That is pretty darn high up the Scoville scale. Congrats! Can the moonlit TWOWer of the dark, Midnight Light, beat the blazing luminous TWOWer of the bright, Spicy Man 33? Midnight sent in this response: "You're only insulting me because you fear my superior intellect." I think looking at our YouTube PMs without context is pretty funny. I'm glad YouTube doesn't have any automatic anti-bullying filters because this episode might have not gone so well otherwise. But anyway, what score did this response get? 55.44%. That's pretty good and guarantees Midnight Light a spot into the final 10. This seems to happen so quickly every time, but we're already in sudden death zone. Because there are only 2 TWOWers left to place, every time I reveal another score, 1 TWOWer will be declared safe, and 1 will be declared eliminated. Green Tree and Corby King still need to rank, and Tak Ajnin and Mike Ramsey haven't ranked well enough to be guaranteed safety. Only 2 of the 4 TWOWers I just named will survive onward. So, with just 20 more seconds of ado, let's move on to Green Tree's response. "Pettiness is unimpressive, but I guess your ego is compensation." That's a pretty good response. Now Green Tree is our only god left. Will TWOW stay monotheistic or go atheistic? It all depends on whether or not Green Tree can beat Mike Ramsey's score of 47.74%. So it's the daredevil versus the god. And here is the moment of truth. Previously on 10 Words of Wisdom. And I promise, no other 12 videos will be so long they need 2 parts.